it's supposed to feel.
All right, what's up, beautiful people? It's the North Shore 9 Postgame Show. I'm Tyler here with Doug. The Pirates knock off the Rockies 5-3 tonight. Doug's got the new digs.
Yeah. This new studio. That's what I'll refer to this room as, the studio. It's no longer a second bedroom. It's a studio.
How long have you been there now, Doug?
Sunday night was my first night. So
technically you're 2-0.
Yeah. Oh, I'm undefeated in the studio. Well, no, because they lost Sunday, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, that was an afternoon game.
That's true. True. Right. I didn't get moved in until after
you were
that.
not officially moved in yet.
Yeah.
So undefeated in the new place.
Yes, that's true. Every game I've watched in here, the Pirates have won.
I mean, you're not allowed to move again.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm in. I don't know. Gunshots the first night. So. But I'm in Alabama, so that pretty much happens all the time. Right? Was
it a gunshot or was it a baseball coming off of Jack Sawinski's bat?
Oh, yes. In Colorado, off a position player. No, mea culpa. Jack Sawinski is great. Don't ever take him out of the lineup against a right-hand pitcher anyway. He still doesn't have a hit against the lefty, does he? He's 0 for his last 39 or something. But who cares? I mean, he's got 3 home runs in this series. He's actually, he's getting on base. It's great. This is Fort said on North Shore 9 last week that he was getting close, and team employees have to say things like that, but it sounds like that was not him taking one for the team. He sounds like he knows exactly what he was talking about. Sounds like, Jack Sawinski is close, and he's closer today than he was last week when Fort said that. He looked great.
So would it be fair to say that, like, if there is a bandwagon that just has stickers all over of Travis Swaggerty, you would be driving that bandwagon?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I am on the Swaggerty bandwagon. I'm driving. I'm celebrating. I've got the PA system working. However, he's not beating the door down, and Sawinski certainly hasn't done anything to this point to be sent down. It looked like a struggle a little early on. That's why we say be patient, small sample size, blah, blah. It's only 9 games. Well, we're now 18 games in, 11-7 on about a 93, 94 win pace. And Jack Sawinski's contributing in a very positive way. These are hits. I know it's Colorado, but there's hits on the road. He hit his first ever opposite field home run today. He's at least proving himself. Let's not say proven. He is proving himself to be an effective platoon outfielder at this point, right? I mean, you can play him against righties, and it seems like maybe you can play him on the road as well. So those were some of the concerns we had. Yeah. Now, given that he hit 2 home runs tonight, knowing how Pirates lineups go, he will not play tomorrow. He will not see the field. But so who knows what happens next? But I imagine he wants in there tomorrow.
Yeah. So I think it was pretty obvious. I've been pretty anti-Sawinski for some time now. I think when you look back at last year, he really just had the one excellent month, and aside from that, he wasn't a very good baseball player.
Right. Yep.
What's happening right now, I think, is pretty encouraging. I think we're seeing the power be legit. However, that first home run was a bit of a cheapie. I mean, 95 miles an hour off the bat. You take them when you get them.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining.
I mean, right? That you can't discount. Singles off the glove and flares and little pop-ups that drop in. I mean, that's all part of what goes into a season. So yeah, he's going to get some cheapies. Everybody does. Babe Ruth played at Yankee Stadium. I think that's 240 down the line. So everybody gets their cheapies, and Jack. We know one thing we know about Jack. That's legitimate power. I mean, he can hit the ball pretty hard. It's you're right. I mean, me too. While everyone's talking about 19 home runs is legit. 19 home runs is more significant than anybody else doing anything in spring training. And I agree. However, it wasn't just 19 home runs. It was a 200 batting average. It was a 280 on base percentage. It was lots of strikeouts. It's not chasing. It's lots of missing stuff in the zone. So there was reason to have, we had legitimate concern. And then he started, it was an awful spring, an awful first week or two, but he's coming around. We'll take the results. We'll take he's having a positive impact. If Jack Sawinski didn't do what he did tonight, we don't win that game. So, as much as I want Swagger to get a chance, it's not coming it's not coming at Jack Sawinski's expense anytime soon, for sure.
Yeah. Not to make this a Swaggerty show. I think there's some other spots that you could probably get him some run at this point, but just back to Sawinski. I think you kind of nailed it there when you said that he's proving to be an effective platoon guy, at least. And I don't even know if I was on board with that. I didn't think he was really even that, because honestly, we saw one good Jack Sawinski month last year.
Right. I mean, we've seen guys have one good year and not repeat it. And he only had, like I said, he had a great June. It was fun. It was exciting. He was, what was at home, he's Aaron Judge, and on the road, he's me, so, and maybe not as good as me, but, we'll see. Again, we're still in the, it's, first it's spring training, then it's small sample size, and it's still a small sample size. But certainly he deserves, anytime we're facing a righty, he should be out there at this point. So
yeah, and even just to point out his third at bat, they brought a lefty in to face him. He didn't swing at two pretty good sliders that most lefties are going to go up there hacking at. Yeah. I'm not saying that his approach has changed here, but he does seem to be seeing the ball decently well at this moment. We'll see if it continues. I don't know if I believe in him for a full season, but right now I do like where Jack Sawinski's at.
Yeah, you have to love the progress. I mean, like I said, you can't deny what's happened in the past. I guess it's been about a week now, but hey, hopefully. I mean, I said when I was complaining about Swagger being sent down. That being said, I'm cheering for I would love to see Jack Sawinski jack 30 home runs this year. That would be fantastic. This team could use that. It'd be great. I'm on the Sawinski bandwagon as well. I'm just maybe a little further back in the bus, not driving. So
you're just following along it.
Yeah.
You're in the parade. You're just
right. Exactly. I got a baton, but that's
you're a couple starts back. But I guess just to keep it moving on the hitters here. I don't feel like I can ever get on here and not talk about Connor Joe. I love this dude.
What an underrated pickup that's been. To me, more, it seems even like more so than Kutch and Santana, who we keep saying, boy, look at the great job. Look what they've done for this lineup. Connor Joe has done as well. And, now he's playing first base with Choi out. He's he's got some versatility.
And to add on to that, he doesn't look like a fish out of water over there.
No, he not at all. I mean, he's stealing base. I didn't know he's stealing bases.
The way he runs the bases is just so sharp.
Yeah.
Now I know he got kind of fooled by Chris Bryant on the run he did score, but the way he makes turns on bases, that triple was beautiful for a guy that really doesn't have the best foot speed in the world.
Right. He's not that fast, but he runs the bases very efficiently. He's very decisive. He knows what he's doing. I'm loving the Connor Joe show at this point. I hope that this just isn't, an average player having a great week or 2 weeks, or I guess we're almost a month in.
Yeah.
But he's. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to. I mean, again, if it ends up by the time we get to August, that it's a Connor Joe Sawinski platoon, I've got no complaint. That right now, that sounds really, really good.
I'm going to be honest with you. I just kind of want Connor Joe in the lineup every day.
Yeah, I right at this point, I wouldn't mind running him out there. I give Shelton credit. I mean, I know sometimes it's infuriating that the guy has a great game and he doesn't play the next day, but he is getting guys in there. The only person that really doesn't seem to be getting kind of consistent run is CSN.
Yeah.
And again, you can kind of see why. You're not going to sit Brian Reynolds. Connor Joe is hitting really, really well. Jack Sawinski's hitting better.
Andrew McCutchen is alive.
McCutchen's having the best April of his career.
Yeah,
that's stunning, right? I mean, my complaint about signing him, or the hue and cry to sign him the past couple of years is that, man, we don't need another guy that hits 200 the first 2 months. We need to get a good start, for a multitude of reasons. I mean, first of all, it's easy for a team that's not that good to get buried, but with Ben Cherington in control, and if we get closer to the lottery than we do to 500, everybody must go, and it's going to be Drew Maggi and Chris Owens and Tyler Chatwood up instead of Quinn Priester and Hank Davis or whatever. So I would just like to see this team hang around 500, and even if they do, Cherington's going to be trading stuff off, and it probably still makes sense. But I just don't want let's throw in the towel, let's play the bums every day, and hope for a lucky. Is it ping pong balls? I know in the NBA it's ping pong balls. I don't know what they have.
I honestly don't even remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, but I would just like to have a whole season of playing the game to win. That would be a refreshing change from the past 3 years. So
now the whole playing the game to win thing, that is one of the things that honestly has infuriated me about Shelton in the last however many years. It feels like when we are watching a game, he is sort of asleep at the wheel. This year, I've criticized him every now and then, and I think you could probably criticize him tonight a little bit. This team is playing very, very aggressive baseball.
Yes.
The difference, though, is they actually have the athletes that can play some aggressive baseball right now. There are guys that can actually run on this team now.
Right. Yeah. It's a pretty athletic team. It really is. It seems like they've put a pretty decent roster to take advantage of the new rules. Now, the non-shifting thing really hasn't seemed to make much of an impact. But the stealing bases, I mean, everybody is stealing bases on this team. Mm-hmm. It's somewhat surprising to see how aggressive they're being with that. And I don't really fault Shelton for not trying to win, because I don't think it was his call. I've always thought every manager and player, they should be trying to win all the time. And tanking is above, again, I'm a 76ers fan. They famously tanked better than anybody, but the coach and players were trying to win every game. They just didn't have the roster. I mean, last year we actively tried to lose game, and that was some of the frustrating. And you're right. I mean, Shelton, there's still some, you can criticize him tonight. You can criticize him, but that's every manager, every game. Mm-hmm. There's always, you left that guy in one batter too long, or you didn't bring this guy in soon enough. Why didn't you pinch hit? The lineup this, the lineup that. That's all. That's just part of the game. They could ban all analytics from baseball, and we're still going to be upset by what the man. Jim Leland used to drive me crazy. With Jay Bell leading the league in sacrifice bunts everywhere. And Jay Bell could hit, and after he left Pittsburgh and went to Arizona, and he was a really good hitter. But with us, if there was someone on base, Jay Bell was putting down a bunt. So
I think where the part that has frustrated me a little bit with Shelton so far has been maybe the early bring the infield in, the contact play, which we saw Neil Cruz get hurt on. We've seen that a few times, but damn it, he has given the team an identity at least, because they are aggressive all the time on the bases. They are going for the extra base. They're running on the bases like it's nobody's business. They're laying down bunts. Yeah. They actually have an identity this year.
It's
They
probably
are
similar to how
scrappy.
you coach your team, right? You force the action,
You
right?
have to.
I learned. I was about 10 minutes into Little League and realized most of these guys can't play. So you try to steal every time because even if you're not fast enough or good enough or get a good enough jump, catcher's probably not going to make the throw. If he does make the throw, the second baseman or shortstop's not going to make the and that's there's a lack of fundamentals with a lot of teams, a lot of major league players now. I mean, part of it, we're rushing guys up when they're 20 years old, something that we didn't do in the past. And so, yeah, force the action, make a guy make a play. It's hard to throw, make a great throw from right field to third base. It's hard to throw a guy out at home plate. There's a lot of things that have to go right for that to happen. Force the action. I mean, yes, there's going to be times where we're like, oh my God, why did they send him? If Marcano gets thrown out in that little move he made, we're like,
he should have been. He was dead to
yeah,
rights.
he was dead. He was dead. Again, good athlete, made a play.
And it all goes back to that's nothing that they're doing in the game. Coaching has nothing to do with it at that point, other than everything you've instilled in them up to then.
Right.
Because he has instilled in these guys somehow that he's just kind of giving everyone the green light here on the basis that kind of deserves a green light. And are they going to make dumb plays? Yeah, we've seen a couple of them so far, but they are putting their foot on the gas pedal pretty much all the time.
Right. And with I prefer, I don't mind sort of airs of aggression. It's the lackadaisical stuff that gets me. It's the why didn't he run there? Why it was the other night we had somebody not running and Brownie was just going crazy. Why didn't he? They're giving you the stolen base, and I think it might have been Bay. I can't remember, but yeah. Let's again force the action. We are not the most talented team. We don't have the best lineup. We have to create runs. We have to force runs. We can't sit around and wait for 3-run homers. And even though we seem to be getting a few more of them lately. And we don't have a lot of margin for error. I mean, you saw our Underwood allowed 2 hits. Stevenson allowed 2 hits. Bednar allowed a double. We don't seem destined for a lot of 1, 2, 3 innings from our bullpen, but they are being pretty effective. They are getting the job done. But I'd rather give them more of a cushion if we could steal a run here or there.
Yeah, let's just jump to the pitching today. Today was a picture perfect example of 2 guys on the mound who really, based upon results, do not deserve major league starting positions, but both of them are there because they have stuff that plays.
Yeah.
Jose Ureña's really not that great, but he's got a 98-mile-an-hour sinker and a good slider. Vince Velasquez has made a career out of having good stuff and not being able to get results with it.
Right.
We saw that back and forth this entire game.
Yeah. I mean, it's you just never. I mean, it does make for interesting watching because you don't know inning to inning, pitch to pitch, what's going to happen with these guys. I mean, yeah, they could just devastate you with a slider, and then the next time just 4 outside the, not even close, with no clue that they were going. But again, that's part. I mean, Velasquez is our 5th starter. Technically, he went with 6 3 runs.
Yeah, it's a quality start
in Colorado.
Yeah. Somehow a quality start is becoming relevant again.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Right. Yeah. Well, if we never had anyone go past 4 innings for a while, so I'd forgotten what a quality start was. Oh, that's right. 6 innings, 3 runs or less.
You know what? I got to mention this comment real quick. They said they got to give Austin Hedges some credit. Steals a ton of strikes all game, or maybe the home plate umpire is terrible. The home plate umpire was terrible, but I was going to mention in today's show that Austin Hedges stole, quote unquote, some strikes today because that outside corner against lefties was being given quite a bit, and Hedgie just kept sitting there. So credit to him for just sticking with it.
Yeah. I mean, he's clearly a crafty, clever, smart catcher. And he better be because that's the only way.
Else well.
Right. There's, he is an automatic out. And when he makes contact, I'm happy.
But at the same time, you look at it, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I don't feel like the Rockies certainly got a few calls, but I feel like the Pirates, and if I look the scorecard tomorrow, I feel like the Pirates are going to end up on the better end of that. And that just comes down to Austin Hedges being better behind the plate than Elias Diaz.
Right. Yeah, it does make a difference. I mean, again, and we've had a full 4 or 5 days in a row of terrible umpiring,
Yeah.
and it's gone both ways. But yeah, tonight it did seem like we benefited a little. And like you said, credit to Hedges. He took it. He saw what was being given, and he made sure to get it. Didn't pass it up. So, I mean, that's why we signed him. And guys, Velasquez, man, he needs. I mean, every pitcher needs that.
Yeah. I guess I'll ask you, what did you think of Velasquez tonight? Because to me, it's just the typical Vince Velasquez start. He's just kind of inconsistent. There's not much really you can say about it. You should just expect it.
He's the Dwayne Underwood of starters, right? I mean, right. I don't. His last start against St. Louis was spectacular. I wouldn't expect to see that game to game, but in the end, if he goes 6 innings and gives up 3 runs, I'll take it every single time. I'll take it without complaint.
Oh yeah, you give me a 4.50 ERA from Vince Velasquez,
Yeah.
I'm all on board of that this year.
Yep, exactly. Every time, and I'll be happy about it because he has the potential. Yeah, I mean, he had a 9 ERA, I think, or it was 9.9 going into the St. Louis game.
Mhm.
It was down some today. He's got, I think it was 540 coming into 8, got it down to 512. He's not too far from saying, "Oh, I can live with that. I can live with that."
Yeah.
Especially now. I mean, Brubaker's done. Burrows looks like he's done. We're going to need Velasquez. We're going to need him at least until the trade deadline.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. That first inning, just watching the game, my first thought was, shit, I got to do a post-game show tonight and trash Vince Velasquez again.
Again, right? I know he did make it easy for us to just kind of pass over him. He was fine. I mean,
yeah, he definitely somehow ended up getting through this thing and really he just kept the team in the game. His velocity was down a tick today, I think. Early on, I looked, he was about 92.5. He's usually 93, 94. So he was down a little bit today. They squared him up a good bit. He definitely danced through some raindrops, but that's what you're going to get out of Vince Velasquez. At least he didn't give up the big inning.
Right. No, and I mean, come on. When he gave up the 3, again, what did you think? We were sure, like, oh man, next inning he's going to come out and give up 5, right? But you think, I mean, he gave up a home run to Chris Bryant. That's not the worst sin ever. He got out of it, and then it was, like I said, a bit of an adventure. But five scoreless after that. I'm not unhappy.
No, and his next start's definitely not going to be good. There is no way he can put together 2 straight or 3 straight quality starts. So just be prepared.
No, well, yeah, I'm certainly, not. I did bet on him today, so not a lot, but I bet more against Urania. So yeah,
you know what I did see Vince Velasquez. I think it was 5+ strikeouts was like plus 144 ish.
And the Pirates have been a great play this year because every game except 2, I think they've been the underdog. So I'm betting the money line. I'm happy.
Might as well.
They're undervalued right now. I mean, Keller's a decent starter. Oviedo's a decent starter. They should not be. I'm not saying they should be heavy favorites by any point. But, I mean, they should not be underdogs to some of the to Colorado. Come on.
Yeah. I guess we'll just keep moving on the pitching staff here. The bullpen kind of made you shit your pants today.
Oh yeah,
not great
today. I mean, it's not. I think we said prior to the show, this is our bullpen. We don't have that sort of like the Brewers bullpen last year. We don't have the nasty boys. We're not rolling out 3 or 4 guys that are going to just blow everybody away 1, 2, 3. We've got Dwayne Underwood Jr. We've got Robert Stevens. We have guys that are going to allow base runners, and we just have to hope that so far they've been pretty effective. Can't really complain other than what it's doing to your blood pressure.
Yeah, Underwood Jr. comes in the 7th after Velasquez exits in the 6th. Gives up 2 base runners. I can't remember. I got the first out, but I think Cabrian Hayes double play helped out a lot there.
Right.
Yeah, he's an interesting fella. He's never gonna keep your blood pressure low.
No, I mean, you have to tune. You have to watch him. You can't walk away because something's happening.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a lot of clean innings.
It's nice to see him actually get a just 1 inning roll right now, but at the same time, he's still Dwayne Underwood Jr. He's still very hittable.
Yeah, I would still prefer that he would come in, after a starter got roughed up, and he could pitch the 4th and the 5th or something along those lines. Him in high leverage scares me, but it is what it is. He does have decent stuff. Again, it does. They're sort of putting him in position to succeed. He's coming in with beginning of the inning, not with 2 guys on base. Like you said, he dances through raindrops, but for the most part, he's being effective, and our entire bullpen really is.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk through? If we want to talk about dancing through raindrops, Robert Stevenson, whoo baby, he was dancing in the rain.
Yeah, that was no umbrella. But I mean, what he had 2 on, got 2 outs, then put another one on, and then got the strikeout, I think. But I mean, but I think it's part of being a Pirate fan this year. Our bullpen is going to just drive us insane. But I think it's going to change. It's going to have to, because we clearly don't have, and we're using 3-4 guys every night, and we don't have faith in quite a few of the guys. We're not going to at this point throw Jose Hernandez out in the tough situations. I think they've lost all confidence in Will Crow. So I still haven't seen Johan Ramirez. Not quite sure why. I would have liked to seen him pitch Sunday night, but I mean, he was crushing it. I mean, it's AAA, but I think he had like 14 strikeouts to 1 or 2 walks or something. I'd like to see him get a little run, see if it translates. But yeah.
I mean, just jump on the talk about Robert Stevenson. Just kind of just combine them with Dwayne Underwood Jr. because they both had a very, very similar inning.
Yeah,
they're both guys that you probably don't want to have in those higher leverage situations, but that's the way this roster is constructed right now. It's not really much you can do other than just get them familiarity with what they're dealing with. They're just kind of like, there are a couple Vin Mazzaros.
Yeah. Oh, Vin Mazzaro.
That's really what they are.
Right.
They're probably going to get the results, but they're going to look terrible doing it.
Right. Mike Williams. When Mike Williams was just terrible. But I mean, I think we're in for it. We'll see some switches. I mean, we'll have to give somebody a 10 days on the injured list to rest his arm, and we'll bring up a Bolton or Majinski or De Los Santos. And I think that's how they'll just have to rotate guys in and out all year, and hopefully cobble it together. Like you said, they are getting it. I mean, we're 11-7. I mean, the Pittsburgh Pirates are 11-7, and by no means this is a lockdown bullpen, but I mean,
they're getting the job done right now.
Yeah, let's enjoy it while because come August, those arms are going to be dragging on the ground, and these you let the first 2 guys on, you might not as effectively clean up the mess. So,
well, speaking of cleaning up the mess, let's just jump on to David Bednar. How close were you to shitting your pants when he got drilled with a line drive?
Man. I mean, well, that's what I kind of complain about his size and what worries me about him, but he was he took that.
Yeah, it was pretty valuable.
Yeah. But hey, he said, I mean, same thing. He got the first 2 out, gave up a double, and then struck out. That's fine, right? A little less exciting than the 2 innings before, and I'll take that. I mean, he looks pretty good. I don't think he looks as good as he did last year, prior to the 207 pitch outing against the Dodgers, but I mean, he looks pretty effective. Well, how many saves he got now? I should
It
look
feels
this
like
stuff
he's
up.
saved just about every game.
It seems like he's just we had a
Every
ended up with
win basically he has pitched in, and then a couple losses as well.
Yeah, it's true too. I know we should never pitch him in a lot. We we got to save that kid. But
yeah, I had a little mini heart attack there just because if this team is going to hang around the 500 level somehow, they're not doing it without David Bednar because there is no depth in that bullpen. There's nobody that you can throw in there to replace him. This isn't even like 2010 through like 2018 where you had a setup guy ready to go.
right.
There's not a guy ready to take a role like that.
No. That was the Neil Huntington move on one closer. The next, everybody moves up a spot, and it worked great until you finally ended up with Tony Watson.
Yeah,
being the last guy left. But
there's nothing left there.
No. If Bednar goes down, Holderman, I guess, would probably assume it. Well, I mean, Shelton would come right out and say, we don't have a closer. We're going closer by committee. And they would probably do something to that effect.
And then Holderman will get every single save opportunity.
Right. And it would be, we need the Pittsburgh Pirates need a healthy David Bednar if they want to have a successful season.
And by successful, we're just saying like 500.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking 70. I mean, successful is obviously a relative term.
Yeah, I'm saying just hanging around that number.
Right. I'm just mid-70s. Mid-70s is a successful season for this team. Again, things could get better. They could do a little better. And now you feel, hey, come July, we'll have Andy. Hopefully, he'll have mastered the art of blocking pitches by then, probably on June 21st or 22nd. And Cruz come back in August. It might, put a little jolt of life in this team. So if the pitching can survive, and it does,
Well, I guess we'll wrap it up with, what? I'll do this one this week. Who's the player of the game for you here, Doug?
Player of the game. Player. Connor Joe.
I like it.
It's Jack Sawinski.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the Connor Joe pick, but it's Jack Sawinski.
It's Jack Sawinski.
He hit 2 home runs.
But a double and a triple is nothing to snooze at there. Right. But Jack had a really nice game. Like I said, he had his first opposite field home run of his career. Again, a bit of a cheapie. I don't care. First one, and 2 home runs. He did good work today. So hats off, Jack Sawinski, and a little shout out to Connor Joe as well.
Yeah, I think it's Jack Sawinski, but Connor Joe, good day. Who's not my player of the game is Ji-Wan Bae, but we don't need to talk about negatives today.
No reason to. You're 11-7 Pittsburgh
11-7. We don't need to make this a negative show, but
raise the Jolly Roger. Yeah,
raise the Jolly Roger. Cannot play shortstop.
No, that's not the spot for him.
Rodolfo, that's yours.
Again, they moved him off shortstop in the minors, and the Pirates don't move anybody off until they get so they moved him off in, like, I think high A, because he couldn't play that position. Yeah. So, but hey, desperate times, desperate measures. He's going to have to play it once a week or so. I don't know. Marcano hasn't played it yet. Maybe he'll get the next shot. But
he might get the next nod, and then God only knows what's next.
Yeah. But just don't say Chris Owings.
That was my thought, and I'll move on.
It's time to wrap this up and get ready for another win tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get out of here. Pirates win at 5-3. Think it's like 3:30-ish game tomorrow, Eastern. 3:30, 3:40. I guess I should probably check that, huh?
Yeah, these are things we should probably do a little pre-show prep.
Yeah, well, not great at that part. 3:10. Whatever. What a weird time.
Yeah. They're in Mountain Time, so
I guess
that's 1:10 their time.
3:10 tomorrow. Pirates Rockies. They wrap up the series.
Oviedo tomorrow, right?
Oviedo on the mound tomorrow. God only knows what the lineup will bring.
Yeah. It's
But
again part of the fun. We're
yeah,
opening the Cracker Jack box and see what the surprise is.
not sure who will be on that post game show with you, but not you, but just with
Yeah,
our fans.
yeah.
But
there'll be two of us here.
they'll, maybe we'll see.
Yeah,
I'll be at
But-
work and then I'll be somewhere else. So
I'll be at work as well.
I will be unavailable, but we'll have two people for you tomorrow. But we're out of here. Pirates win it 5-3. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Hey, you all, thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.